It's been 8.5 months since our last Pro3 race, and 20 months since we could socialize. Thanks to Kevin Doyle for the great campfire. Almost kept me from freezing while sleeping in my Forerunner. Almost. Well, here we are. First race of the 2021 season. Spectators allowed. Let's go qualify. Racer on Rails Jordan Allen had me try a helmet cam. Guess he forgot that I can barely see over the dash. But the car ran great. Bryce Allen found several disconnected vacuum lines, so throttle response was much better. Thanks, Coley Tipton. And having done this for 15 years, Bryce always has the handling dialed in. See you later, Nick Carbaugh. Nick can be a bit impatient at times. I don't think the track worker much appreciated his throttle rev.
This shit's a machine.
That's Jordan. What do you mean?
You outqualified Will.
Yeah, cool. How do you know?
You're like in the top 10.
No way.
Yeah.
Actually, Will outqualified me by a 10th. I was 12th of 21 with a 123.2, a 10th off my best ever. In Saturday's race, Nick blasts by as I get my usual slow start. Then Colton Edwards in the blue SC46 almost runs me off track. Hey, I catch Dave Weller. For a second. Man, he's flying. There goes Tucker Sheppy in his winged MR2 Spider. I battle him in turn 7, but it's really no contest. I squeeze off Colton at turn 7. He told me he had to take evasive action. I told him you should have seen the guy I had to deal with at turn 4, but he passes me back next lap. Hey, worked last time. Bit cleaner this time. I hold him off and finish 13th of 21 in Pro 3. Bill Eckert, our new license director, asked me to run in the novice race.
Hey.
Have fun out there, buddy.
Thanks.
Go ahead and run to the front.
Yeah, good luck. If you got guys running 122, I gotta beat them.
Yeah, I made your video last year.
Oh, cool.
Then Matthew
Good
King
stuff.
stops by.
I decided I'm going to try and find you just, if I can, I'm going to see if I can get in front of you.
Perfect. Most people are.
This is so much better than a Pro 3 start. Look at that lane open up. I could get used to this. Now, let's go track down those front runners. On the left, new Pro 3 driver Phil Oliva. He bought Bill Eckert's car. Nice guy. A newly retired pilot. Wonder if he was grounded. Got by Phil. Now to battle with that wing thing. Guy's name is Rob George. Never put a wheel off the whole race. We debriefed after the session. Nice guy. Number 52 Spec E46 is Jack Curtis. Next lap, we come up on some traffic. Rob may have overslowed, but I'd rather see him being too cautious than too aggressive or unaware. That must be the guy who runs 121s, or better. They black flagged him earlier, just to keep him honest. Another black flag. Glad I didn't miss it. That could have been embarrassing. That's it, P3. And banners flying. I could get used to this. Hey, Bill Eckert, can I permanently transfer to novice? Uh-oh, the most dangerous thing at the track. Wes Hill on a bicycle. Will Kellogg drops by. I give him a tip on earlier turn-in at 4. I guess we've both gotten over that incident at Pacific. The legendary Bryce Allen.
Yes, sir.
Sunday qualified. Cool, dry, and sunny. Perfect for fast laps. Look at me fly past Pete Bristow on his out lap. Will, what's with the early brake lights? Must be to prevent brake pad knockback. Luckily, I've never experienced that. Hey, he's using my early turn-in tip. I gain on him through 5, but haven't quite mastered Corey Peters' tip to turn in early and stay hard left at 6. And Will pulls away. Turn 7 needs work. Still, I run a 122.96, a 10th better than my fastest ever in 2014. I'm 10th of 19. My fuel pressure regulator died. AFR a very rich 10.9 instead of 12.8. Time for the big points race. My start is worse than ever. A sloppy shift doesn't help. 5 cars fly by before the starting line. Make that 6 Pro3 cars and a Mustang. I start to catch the pack by turn 10 and hold my own through 12, where the Canada geese hang out on the right. I thought the border was closed. Next lap, a sloppy exit takes me into the noodles and takes out my front lip spoiler. 2 laps later, a good exit at turn 12 helps me run down Lee Storgard. Another 2 laps and Will's overtaken Bruce Matari, and I'm gaining on him. Slowly. Thanks again, Corey Peters, for that turn 6 tip. Too bad you had to go and set a new Pro3 lap record of 120.5. One of many reasons he's my former buddy. I'm actually lapping somebody. Jim Butterworth breaking in his brand new car. He flipped and totaled his old one at the Historics last year. I still can't get turn 7 right. I get close, but lift and let Bruce off the hook. Bruce starts to come down on me, then pulls away and lets me by. Thanks. Will locks up, but I'm not close enough to take advantage. That's weird. A little lockup on brake release. Will wobbles a bit, but I lock up, and I have to pinch down to avoid hitting him. Last chance, but I can't outpull him. I'm 14th of 19 with a 123.1. Top 5, Matt Doyle 120.9, Corey Peters, Chuck Hurley, Scott Eckert, and Brian Bercovitz. Second overall, Brad the Jedi Rabbit Greco, who lapped me at the finish line. Bugger. At least I get a thumbs up from Jordan. An old man struggling to get his helmet off. Not a pretty sight, but one of my best racing weekends ever. Can't wait till Pacific, May 15th. While the top racers analyze their data, I used pen and paper. Let's see. Write a thank you note to Josh Voigt for letting me borrow his heater Saturday night, so I didn't freeze. Next, Dave Weller, who finished 11th Saturday, 8th Sunday. Here in the Enduro, he qualified 6th in ME2. He's had some tough luck, mechanical failures, accidents. His last race was 2019. About ready to give up. This race should bring him back around. Josh Voigt on the right, Manfred Dusky number 53 ahead. Whoa, look out for that sport racer. Next lap, Dave gets to full throttle early out of turn 7 and easily runs down Josh on the back straight. Why can't I do that? After the mandatory 1-minute stop for a driver change, Dave blows by Matthew King and gets a great run out of 7th. But Rob George in that black and pink 171 just has too much juice. Next up is Scott Studeris in Beef Wellington's old car. So it's beef, stew. You can't make that up. Hang on, this is about to get real. How do these front-running drivers do this? Bumper to bumper, right on the edge, never missing a shift or misplacing a wheel for the entire race. I'm exhausted just watching this. And instead of 33 seconds in real time, they did this for over 3 minutes. Let's slow it down a bit. A little more. Perfect. Looks like the guy in the white number 28 is okay, relatively speaking. That guy, not so much. Pretty sure that's former Pro3 driver Ted Reese's stock car. No one hurt, but the car was badly burned. It's close to the end, so they call it done and head to the pits. Dave finishes 3rd in his class, his first solo podium ever. This is Saturday's race with Dirk Groeneveld. Not sure why his engine sounds like a Cylon fighter, but this kid can drive. Stranded in Germany during COVID, since 2019, Dirk's only done sim racing. Ahead in red is Scott Eckert, who finished 6th on Saturday and will finish 4th today. Dirk has to pinch down to leave room for Danielle Huffington. Dirk pulls on Simon Asselin and his SPM on the right, but can't catch Danielle. Danny takes an unusual line through turn 7, but it works. That's how it ends. Dirt finishes 9th with a 122.9. Danny 8th with a 122.4. Next, Scott Eckert, the kid who bought Andrew Mitchell's car. He qualified 6th on Saturday and 5th today. Holy moly, he blows by Corey Peters. Two-time and current champ Brian Bercovitz slips by on the outside, and Corey's lurking right behind. Ivan Prokopets in the red wing car jams everyone on the left and makes Scott flinch, but it gives him a great gap. As Scott hounds Brian, Matt, and then Corey slip by. What a race! Nothing to be ashamed of here, Scott. You just battled 3 of our best. What a move on Brian. Maybe a little too hot. Scott keeps it under control, but Brian and Jeff McCaffer get by. I would have never tried that move up against the wall with Jeff. Guess that's why Scott is 4th and I'm 14th. Scott is pushing hard now and pulling away from Jeff and William Morris and Manfredusky's Spec E46. Another battle with Brian. This went on for like 30 laps. Okay, 8. Let's just watch. Brian gets one more try when Scott gets stuck behind Matthew King. Hey Matt, you made the video again. Scott gets slowed up behind Scott Studeris, but then so do Brian, Jeff, and William Morris. Morris eventually gets by, but the Spec E46 should be 3 seconds a lap faster. Great driving, Scott Eckert. Next up, Corey the Hulk Peters. Corey finished 3rd in our last championship season in 2019 and 2nd in 2018, and qualified 1st Saturday and today. Sliding up on the inside is Matt Lowell, Corey's best bud and stablemate with Kevin Doyle's team. But Matt gets stuck behind Simon Asselin in the number 81 SPM car. Patrick Bliss gets a little loose in his blue number 10 SPM. Then Bliss holds up Corey, and both Matt and Brian get by. But there's no quit in Corey. How do these guys do it? Racing so close for laps on end and never make a mistake. Corey is right on Matt and Brian's bumpers, but coming up behind, former champ Chuck Hurley. Fighting tooth and nail, Chuck gets by Corey, and Jeff McCaffer is back in the game. But Corey doesn't know the meaning of quit, even if he Googled it. Chuck makes a great move to get by Brian, and Corey is all over Brian's tail. Then Corey locks up to avoid contact, and McCaffer makes another charge. What a move by Corey, and it's all over for Brian. Now it's just Chuck and Matt ahead. Let's watch this epic battle by 2 great riders. How the heck do they do that? Besides the speeded up video. almost lost it. Nerves of steel don't even begin to describe these two. I'm gonna pass out now. Finally, Chuck goes down. And Corey finishes second, nearly lapping Bruce Matari. Another lap, and that'd be me. Gridded second, Matt Doyle. That ought to warm up the tires. Ahead of Matt and Corey, only 3 SPU and SPM cars. Then 2 more get by, as Matt slides by Corey. But Matt gets stuck behind Ivan, and Corey and Brian both get by. Before you know it, Matt's right back in it. Let's watch the masters at work. Corey got held up by Simon Asselin, and Brian and Matt slingshot past. Brian's behind Asselin now and pays the price. But it ain't over yet. Or is it? Hey, Asselin, out of the way. Now there's a Mustang and an Asselin. Slow down. Don't want to make Jim Butterworth look too bad. Or Scott Studeris. There's the Asselin again, who goes 3 off out of turn 6 and dives right back to the race line. Matt is not a happy camper. Next down, Lee Storgard, always courteous, and Matt wins Saturday's race with a fast lap of 1:20.6. Amazing. Sunday's race. Check out the Canada Geese in front of Corey's hood in the infield. Matt gets a great start. But must have got something in his eyes. Don't get behind that red car, Matt. That's Ivan the Terrible. Can't say I didn't warn you. Next lap, Matt retakes Scott Eckert and is in hot pursuit of Brian. And then it's bye-bye Brian. Matt laps Jim Butterworth. Battles Chuck Hurley. Overcooks it a little. Pulls by Chuck. And laps Matthew King, then Scott Studeris. But Hurley fights back. And Corey is right behind. But Matt puts them away for good. He laps Phil Oliva. Avoids the Geese. Laps Butterworth a second time. And heads for victory, winning both Saturday and Sunday. Matt lays down a solid challenge for the championship, does a bit of whooping, and scrubs his tires just because he can. What a weekend. Hope to see you next time.